If you're interested in Embers Igniting editing, you're probably wondering how exactly the editing process works. We know that professional editing can be intimidating, so today we're going to take you through our process step by step so that you know what to expect when working with us. The first step in our process is simply you learning about our services. It's important that you know what we offer and have an idea of which of our services your project needs. You can learn more about our services from our service video or menu, and you can of course go to our website, embersigniting.com. On our website, you'll also find frequently asked questions and other helpful information. Once you've taken a look at what we have to offer, the next step is contacting us, which you can do in a variety of ways. The best way is to fill out our contact form at embersigniting.com, but you can also email or even text us if that's more convenient for you. When you get in touch with us, we'll want to know a few things, such as who you are, a little about your project, things like genre, which draft you're on, and the approximate word count, and which of our services you're interested in. Not sure which service is the best fit for your project? Or do you want more information about our packages, our editing process, or anything else? Ask away. We'll respond to your inquiry within 2 business days. Once we've chatted back and forth a bit and you've decided you'd like a quote for one or more services, we can provide that for you. If you're happy with our quote and are eager to get going, we'll ask to see a short sample of your manuscript. This sample helps ensure we're a good fit for your project, that we assign the appropriate editor, and that we agree that the kind of editing you're interested in is going to get you the best bang for your buck. This is also the perfect time for you to request a free sample edit. We love doing free sample edits of the first 1,000 words of projects that are at least 30,000 words in length because they help you get a feel for how we edit before you've committed to anything. So definitely take us up on the free sample. By this point, we've discussed your editing needs in detail. In the next step, your editor will draw up your editing agreement. This agreement makes sure we all know the goals of the edit before we start working. It makes sure we're on the same page. It's here that we give you your final cost based on your exact word count, arrange a timetable that works for all of us, and so forth. If you're interested in the minutiae of what's in this editing agreement, see our sample editing agreement and/or our terms and conditions document. We've arrived at step 4, the step you've probably been anticipating most of all. Your editor gets to work. We edit your manuscript in Microsoft Word, utilizing its tracked changes and/or comments functionality. Our foundational edit is a little different because for that type of edit, we don't work within your source file, but instead provide you with a separate report detailing your manuscript's strengths and areas for improvement. Now, this part of the process is a bit mysterious and sometimes nerve-wracking for writers. After all, you've handed your baby over to someone else, which is no small thing. We promise your manuscript is with people who truly care about you and want your project to be the best it can possibly be. Even so, you might have a few questions about this part of the process. Questions like, when do I pay? For works at least 30,000 words in length, you pay half the total quote up front, then the other half once we've completed the edit. If your project is less than 30,000 words, the total cost is due up front. How long will it take? In short, it depends. It depends on how quickly you need the edit completed, our current availability, the length of your project, and how clean the manuscript was to begin with. All of these factors combine to create the timeline for your edit, and we're clear with you before you commit to anything what that timeline will be. How do you protect my work? Everything we exchange with you is confidential. We only share information about your work with our partners, contractors, and consultants as necessary to complete the editing process, and these associates of ours are aware of our confidentiality policy and are likewise beholden to it. Along these lines, lots of writers are concerned about copyright. They're afraid of someone stealing their work. Rest assured, if you wrote something down, that text is copyrighted under the law. If that's still not enough to relieve your anxiety, ask us for an NDA. We're happy to sign one for your project. What if I don't like your suggestions? Let's be real. Criticism, even constructive criticism, is hard. You might not always like what we have to say, and that's okay. You didn't hire us to tell you your work is perfect, but to tell you how it can be improved, and we provide our professional opinions to that end. Take or leave our advice because it's your manuscript. It's worth noting that we have open communication throughout the editing process, and for projects over 30,000 words, we check in with you halfway through with a sample of our work so you can see how it's going. At that halfway check-in, you can ask any questions you'd like, and if for whatever reason you don't want to continue, you can back out of the second half of the edit. This is extremely rare, but know that we want you to be satisfied and see the finished product far surpass your expectations. All right, we've completed your edit. Now comes the all-important part. You revise your manuscript in light of our suggestions. You go through and accept or reject specific edits, consider our comments, and make changes to your manuscript. This is the fun part because it's so satisfying to see your work improve before your eyes. Now, if you're just doing a standalone service with us, here's the end of your journey with Embers, at least until your next project. However, if you're doing a package with us in which you've bundled more than one service, you'll take as much time as you need to revise your work and then reach out when you're close to ready for the next stage of editing. The more notice you give us, the better, because that way we can be sure to get it on our calendar early on in order to meet your scheduling needs. And that, friends, is how it works to have your manuscript edited by Embers Igniting Editing. If you have questions, reach out at any time. But for now, happy writing, and thanks for watching.